I am deeply empathetic. I also have narcissistic traits. We all have an angel and a demon inside of us. That's what life is made of. Life is not only light. Shadows are unconscious aspects of the psyche. I am in the mood to uncover them. I will shed light on things which are usually unseen. I will point on blind spots which we have as a collective. I will explain where we think in an overly simplistic way, which does not reflect the whole picture, the holistic quality of life. This May, my partner and I traveled over the Balkan. One stop was Greece, where I had time to reflect about myself and many things. The ocean and the sky opened up a huge space, which helped me to expand my mind and to explore the psyche. One topic touched me in particular: being an empath with narcissistic traits. Which may sound unbelievable, but I am one of those. In some spiritual scenes, people think in overly simplistic patterns, in polarizations, in black and white, angels and demons, good empaths and evil narcissists, which can lead to shadow formation and hypocrisy. Because life is complex. Life consists of light and darkness. That's where the contrast comes from. When we recognize the shadow and embrace it, we become whole. We mature psychologically, mentally, and spiritually. This is the process of individuation. In this video, I will take myself as an example. I will talk about my deep empathy and my narcissistic, grandiose traits. I will explain how this shows up in my personality and why I think that there is a bad in the good and a good in the bad. I am an empath. I am deeply empathetic, and I also have narcissistic traits or grandiose traits. I have both inside myself. So the story of you're either a good empath or an evil narcissist is not true. I have both inside myself, and I will explain why and how this shows. I perceive my empathy as a mechanism. It's not morals, and it's not something I learned. It's not something I choose. I'm born with it. Empathy is that I feel how other people feel. I feel their anger, I feel their sadness, I feel when they feel hurt, but I also feel their joy and I feel their happiness. It's like you merge with this person and you suddenly feel from inside out how this other person feels. And I already mentioned it, it's not something I choose. It's not something I learned. It's not a higher moral thing I try to do. It's a mechanism. It's like you have eyes and you can see. You have ears and you can hear. And I have this empathy and I can feel how other people feel. I'm born with it. It's how I am wired. It's a mechanism. It's automatic. And I don't know to which extent other people are like me. I only know that I'm highly sensitive. I already made another video about that. I'm highly sensitive and I have a so-called mirror touch synesthesia. In German it's called Synästhesie. It's like if another person hits his toe or her toe and has pain, I also suddenly feel this pain, not maybe in this extent, not in this intensity, but it gives me a, yeah, it also hits me in my toe, yeah. It can be like bodily pain, but it can also be emotional pain. So for example, today my partner, he got bad news and he suddenly felt bad emotionally. And he told me, oh, I feel so bad now and I have this headache and I have this heaviness and I feel like crying. And the topic that he felt bad about, it was a topic only he could feel bad about. I didn't care about this topic, about this bad news. I didn't feel bad about that. It was in my eyes something you shouldn't necessarily feel bad about, you know. And if I got the same news that he got, I wouldn't have felt bad about that. So he felt bad about that, and suddenly it swapped over. It swapped over from him to me, and suddenly I also felt bad and I felt his pain, his sadness. Suddenly I had this headache and this heaviness in my chest and in my throat and in my eyes and head, and it was so heavy, and I even started to cry. He didn't cry, but I felt this urge to cry, and I cried, and tears came out of my eyes. And he looked at me and he said, oh yeah, that's exactly the expression you make is exactly the expression for what I feel at the moment. Yeah? So this is empathy. And at this moment, I knew exactly that this is not my pain. It was not my pain. I didn't care about the subject he felt pain about. It was his pain that I felt. And this is empathy. And it's not morals. It's not that I told myself, oh, you have to feel for him because then you are a good person. It's ethical and it's of higher morals, or I'm a more developed person or something like that. No, it's a mechanism. It's my hardware. It's how I am wired. This was the easy part, describing my empathy. What's more difficult for me is talking about my narcissistic traits or my grandiose traits or my tendency to be self-centered. First, I want to say I don't have a narcissistic personality disorder. So if you have a narcissistic personality disorder, that's a whole different story. I am not sick. I don't have a personality disorder. And I'm also not a toxic narcissist. My narcissistic traits, they show first and foremost in the way I think about myself, in the way I see myself. They show in my self-image. I tend to see myself in a positive light. I tend to see myself, and this is where it starts to become narcissistic. I tend to see myself in a better light than I am. So I tend to see myself more positive, more capable, more competent, more beautiful, more intelligent, more of everything good you can imagine. I like to see myself. Yeah. So my self-image is colored in a positive way. Entitlement. I feel naturally, I feel entitled for things. I feel entitled to get good things. I feel entitled to live a good life. I have to sit in a different way. The sun starts to come. Oh, the sun starts to come in my face. Oh, why is this so bad? I hate that. I want to look good, you know. That's my narcissistic side also. I always want to look good, and it's like, horrible when this lightning doesn't work. I hate it, you see? And before I started this video, I tried out 15 different places. I ran around the whole beach and I tried out places for half an hour, 40 minutes, something like this, before I found this which works kind of. This is also something I always want to show myself in the best light. Yeah. And not only to other people, but also to myself. It's to myself in my imagination. I look even more beautiful and I'm more intelligent and I'm like this and I'm like that, you know, I'm very special and so on and so on. And this is what I think about half of the day. I know it sounds so horrible. I know that people don't like that and that some people will maybe even hate me for that or dislike me for that. but I cannot help it. It's just how I am. And I don't know, I'm not sure if the narcissistic traits, if they're also wired, like the empathy. I think part of it is maybe also deep wired, and another part comes from life experience, from how you were brought up and things like this. And you know, narcissism or self-centeredness, there is something good about it because you don't have those self-doubts like other people have, and you go on. If something bad happens, I move on. I just say, okay, this happened because of this and that, but the root does not lie inside me. It's not my fault. Or if it's my fault, it's a competence, it's something that I can improve, I can learn, yeah, to become better with. I'm not very harsh with myself. I'm not harsh with myself. I don't blame myself. So I had to continue with this video today because yesterday the battery of my microphone didn't work, and the second part of the video was without audio, and yeah, that's not very good. So I continue with how my narcissism shows. My narcissistic side motivates me for doing things. I would be more lazy without my narcissistic motivation. Maybe I would just do the most necessary things and not much more. Yeah, this has a good side. My narcissism keeps me going to put myself out there, to present myself, to achieve things, you know, to craft an image of myself and to do things which make me shine. So this narcissistic side of mine likes to make me shine. And that's what motivates me. But this also has a downside, and the downside is if an activity, if a job or a project doesn't motivate me in a narcissistic way, if I cannot shine, then I won't keep doing this job or I won't keep doing this project for a longer time. I don't like teamwork so much, where the output of the work is not contributed to myself. This just doesn't motivate me. Some kind of teamwork where it's always the whole team and, you know, it's very collectivistic and you're not seen. Yeah, I cannot shine. I cannot present myself and say, okay, this was my work. I did this. That's my creative thing. It's my creativity. When I cannot do this, I'm just not motivated. If it's not fueling my narcissism, what's the takeaway of this? What can we learn? What can we learn for individuation and shadow work? Don't think in stereotypical ways. Don't think in ready-made templates. Don't think in black and white like good empath and the bad narcissist, because this is not true. Most people are a mix of shadow and light, and in the shadow there lies some light, and in the light there lies some shadow. You know the yin and yang symbol? In the white part of the yin-yang symbol there is also a black point, and in the black part there is a white point. My empathy sometimes leads to burnout. It sometimes makes me feel bad. My narcissism, it doesn't only have bad sides, it also has good sides. It motivates me for things and for projects which in the end are of common good for other people, even though I'm motivated in a narcissistic way to do it. Identify your preconceptions. The wind is like moving the camera. At what points do you think too narrow? At what points do you think in a stereotypical way? At what point do you use cheap conspiracy theories like reducing the complexity of the world to one narrative which paints people in good and bad, in black and white, in bad aliens and good angels, or things like this? If you do shadow work and if you reflect about yourself, it's helpful to think about yourself as a holistic, complex being and not only in simple categories. You are not just this or that. You are so many things. It's very helpful to expand your view and at the same time be more precise in identifying certain traits. For example, I am precise in identifying my empathy. I know how to define empathy, what empathy is. It's feeling what other people feel. So this is a very precise explanation of what's going on inside of you. So I want to encourage you to be precise and at the same time expand your view. Now I come to the end of this video, and the symbol of this video is the wide open space. The sky and the clouds and the water and the beach. It's this wide open space around me. And I want to encourage you to take this wide open space as a metaphor for your inner space, for your mental space, to expand your inner mental space, to expand your perspective and to expand your view on the outside world, on other people, but also on yourself, on your inner space, on your inner being. Be open and see all the facets. Thank you for listening.